I'm going to do a video on factoring trinomials if a is greater than 1. And this is actually a really neat video. Well, I hope it becomes a neat video. And I wrote down some steps, and I'm just going to do an example. And so here I want to factor 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify my a, b, and c. And so my a equals 2, my b equals -7, and my c equals -4. And I'm not actually going to be too concerned with the signs at this point in time. And so my second step says multiply a times c. So a times c, and like I said, I'm not going to worry about the signs. 2 times 4 is 8. And the factors of 8 are 1 and 8, and 2 and 4. So I said multiply a times c, and I've done that. And I said find the factors that add or subtract to b. Well, b is -7, so in order to get that, I'm going to have to use 1 and 8. So now it says rewrite the trinomial, but use the factors of b. But use the factors instead of b, rather. So I'm going to write my 2x squared. I'm not going to write -7x. I'm going to use 1x and 8x. So in order to do that, I'm going to say, well, 1 and 8, how do I get -7? I need a positive 1x, I need a -8x. And positive 1x and -8x equals a -7x. I still have my -4. Now, the next step's a little clever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the trinomial but use the factors of b instead, and I've done that. So now it's 2x squared plus 1x minus 8x minus 4. Now, like I said, 1 and -8 gives me -7. So they're still equivalent. This and this are the same value. I'm going to factor by grouping now. So I'm going to factor out an x, and when I do that, I'm left with 2x plus 1. And then here, I'm going to factor out a -4, and when I do that, I'm left with 2x plus 1. And now, I have two groups, and they have this in common, so I'm going to factor that out, 2x plus 1. And what's left is x minus 4. And if I were to FOIL this, I'd say 2x times x, I get 2x squared, minus 8x plus 1x is -7x, minus 4. And that's it. I'm going to do another example. Unfortunately, I have to erase my first example, but I'll do another example. So once again, if you're watching this video, you should really pause it and stop it when you need to. But here comes the second example. I have 6x squared plus x minus 15. Now, my a, b, and c are 6, 1, and -15. So when I multiply a times c, I'm going to get 6 times -15, which is a -90, but once again, not so concerned with the signs, and that's 90. And now my factors are 1 and 90, 2 and 45, I'm going to run out of room, 3 and 30, 4 doesn't work, 5 and 18, 6 and 15, and then 9 and 10. Alright, so I need to get to 1. So I'm going to use 9 and 10. So once again, I'm going to write 6x squared. I need a positive 1, so I'm going to say minus 9x plus 10x minus 15. And you'll notice that once again, -9x plus 10x is 1x. So these two are still the same. They're still equivalent. Alright, now I'm going to factor by grouping. And I'm going to say what comes out of 6x squared minus 9x, and it's going to be a 3x. So 3x goes into 6x squared 2x times. 3x goes into -9x, -3 times. And then I'm going to factor here, I'm going to factor out a 5. 5 goes into 10x, 2x times. 5 goes into -15, -3 times. And now, that is an awful color, by the way. I'm going to factor out this, and I get 2x minus 3. And what's remaining is 3x plus 5. That's it. You should give these a go on your own. Not too bad.